literally a week after I did my installation saying like, oh, I love your locks, or I love your sister locks, or your locks look amazing. They gave what they were supposed to give. I don't have that issue anymore. I literally never have to say no because of my hair. What is up, Flockers? That is my fellow lockers and aspiring lockers. In today's video, let's go ahead and get into likes and dislikes of having braid locks. Jumping right in, I love the fact that my hair is always done. Since day one, I have not had to worry about what I look like when I wake up, what I look like before I go out. At any point in time, my hair is always done. Whether I take the time to style it or not, I literally wake up, shake, give it a little spritz, and keep it moving. My hair is done. Whether I'm talking about day one on the journey, month one, or year one. Always done. Huge like positive for my braid locks. Kind of an asterisk on the last one, adding on to it, is the fact that minimal amount of styling gives you a maximum look of effort in trying. And I don't know if that made sense the way that it made sense to me in my head before I said it out loud, but with my braid locks, if I want to do a style, I can put in the minimal amount of work and have the maximum amount of effect or look, because I can do a simple flat twist, cornrow, barrel twist, barrel basket weave, whatever the different styles are called. It's so easy to style your hair when you got braid locks. That's a huge like for me, that I don't have to do anything elaborate to my hair for it to look like a style. Whether I'm just taking an elastic band and pushing it back, or like I said, doing something as simple as a flat twist or barrel rolls or anything of that nature, I don't have to put a ton of effort or time or energy into a style for it to look like I did a lot to my hair, and my hair will come out looking like I spent a lot of time, that I put a lot of effort into the style. So that is a huge like for me. All right, another huge like for me is the fact that I no longer have extremely long, excruciating wash days. And I no longer have to detangle. These days I finger detangle, and that looks like this for me. It's a matter of simply going like this in the morning when my hair is matted after being in my bonnet all night. Go like this, finger detangle for about 20-30 seconds, and then we're done and moving on. And when it comes to wash days, my wash days are so incredibly quick, simple, and easy, pain-free. I'm not having to worry about, like I said, detangling. I'm not spending hours in the shower like I was before when I was loose natural, having to do sections and sectioning off my hair so that I can wash different sections and shampoo, condition, deep condition, all of that stuff, pre-poo. I'm not doing that anymore. I shampoo and condition. I don't braid and band. I'm quick, I'm in and out. I'm able to get my whole process done in a matter of less than 10 minutes. And you know, if I decided that I wanted to let the conditioner sit on for a couple of more minutes, then that might extend it. But I'm telling you, wash days are super simple, super easy, super quick with these braid locks. Another thing that I love about my braid locks is that from day one, they have been styled to look like locks. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that because of the size of them being micro and because they're braided, that they've looked like locks since day one. Now granted, yes, when people were close, or if I were to get up close, I could see the braid pattern. But what I'm saying is that even when seeing the braid pattern, I still had people come up to me literally a week after I did my installation saying like, oh, I love your locks, or I love your sister locks, or your locks look amazing. So even from day one, they were giving locks. They were giving crown. They were giving awesome. They were giving amazing. They were giving luscious. They were giving what I'm here for. They were giving what I'm trying to give. They gave what they were supposed to give. And one of my biggest likes of all is that since day one, I have not had to worry about taking showers and getting my hair wet. I haven't had to worry about the weather outside, if it's gonna rain. I haven't had to worry about going swimming and jumping into a pool, because since day one, my hair has been locked in place in the sense that because of the braids and because of the plaits, I have had zero slippage, zero unwanted bunching. You know, there's gonna be some bunching and swelling and stuff that happens as your locks progress, but I've had zero amount of unwanted bunching or slippage or anything of that nature that has caused my locks to do something that I didn't want them to do. You know, continuing on with my maintenance method of interlocking, that has just even more so solidified the fact that my hair is locked in place, it's not going anywhere, so I can, like I said, have the hair freedom to go jump in the ocean, jump in a pool, run out when it's storming or raining, or take a shower and wash my hair without having to wear a shower cap or worry about what's gonna happen to my hair if it gets wet or anything like that. Never had to worry about that, and that is a wonderful feeling. And who doesn't like being able to just go out at a moment's notice? Now, with me being a man, you might be like, oh, okay, well, you probably don't spend a ton of time on your hair even as a loose natural. That's true. I probably did not spend as much time on my hair as a lot of women did as loose naturals. But even as a man, I still spent a ton of time because, like I said, I had to wash and shampoo, condition, all that stuff. And then I had to section my hair afterwards into 2-strand twist or something to keep it detangled throughout the week until I did my next wash day. And I don't know how many times either I had to throw something over my head just to go to the store to get some eggs because I was only halfway done with my 2-strand twist because I had spent hours doing the wash day and I just did not get to that point. Or where somebody might have invited me to go out to a function or something and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to pass because my hair wasn't done. It was only half done. I wasn't trying to do it. I don't have that issue anymore. I literally never have to say no because of my hair. Even if I've started interlocking and I've only done a few rows in the back or on the side or whatever, it doesn't matter because I can be 1/8 done interlocking and then go and handle my business and then come back and do another portion of interlocking and then go out again. Like, there's no limits. Braidlocs is where it's at for me. All right, so as much as I've been pumping up Braidlocs and there are a million reasons why I like them, there are also reasons or dislikes that come along and that are associated with Braidlocs, and I feel like I would be doing an injustice if I didn't talk about them. Even though these are not things that personally bother me because I'm not, like I said, personally bothered by it, I know that there are some people who either have these concerns or they're concerned about it. So let's get into the dislike. The first dislike that I could think of is that the braid pattern does typically stay for a long time. If you braid your braids super tight, they're probably going to stay for years and years just because of how tight they're braided. Now, if you do them loosely like mine, then maybe you'll be lucky and then within a matter of months, you will start to see the braid pattern and some of your locks disappearing. And in some of my locks, the braid pattern either has disappeared or is almost completely gone. And then there's some locks around the perimeter, as I show every time I do one of these types of videos, that you can still see the braid pattern in some of them. But it's only when you're super close, it's only when you're looking for it that you see it. And so, but it is a dislike for some people that you may have a braid pattern for a long extended period of time. If my braid pattern never went away, I wouldn't be too pressed about it just because my hair is going to grow out. And with time, you know, the braid pattern that's there is going to be down here. So it's not even going to be, I don't know. It's just a personal preference. So there are people who it irks and it bothers because they want that uniformity from root to tip. So that is a dislike that is on some people's radar. Another dislike that is associated with Braidlocs and locks in general is the shedding process and the fact that you will get those little balls on the end of your locks at some point or another. Let me see if I can find one to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Again, this is not something that bothers me or irks me personally, but as your locks mature and you have these loose ends, they do start to get these balls on the end, and sometimes those balls may lock up and they might not detach, but a lot of times they do detach, and you will find them in your bathroom, you will find them around your house. If you have hands and hair syndrome and you're doing like this, then they may pop off just randomly as you're running your fingers through your hair. So the little balls on the end I know are a dislike for some people, whether it's because you feel like you're losing your length or you're just not a fan of seeing little cockroach balls of hair chilling in your bathroom, regardless of what you feel like they look like. I know that some people are not a fan, and so that is a dislike for some people. Now, of course, I have like 15 of them, but the moment that I get on camera and try to show y'all, my hair wants to act a fool and I can't find any, but y'all know what I mean. All right, so of course it's in the back so I can hardly see it, but if you can see it, it's like I got my lock here, and then there's thin hairs, and then on the end we've got this little ball of hair, and this one's probably going to detach. I don't pull on it, I'm only doing this to show y'all, but it's literally hanging on by like 1 or 2 threads of hair. So it's probably going to detach at some point in the bathroom, in the shower when I'm washing my hair or something. But I have those all over my locks. They fall off. It's not a big deal. It's not like they shed and then, you know, it's just your lock doing what it's supposed to do. It'll seal at the bottom. Either that little ball, like I said, will seal up with your lock, or it'll fall off and the bottom of your lock will seal up eventually. So that's part of it. It is a dislike, but it's part of the journey. Another dislike that people have, and have different ways to solve it, are the little white bulbs that you will get throughout your locks as you're retwisting or you're retightening, whatever it is. This is because of the shed hair, because when you're loose natural, your hair is able to shed and fall out on the ground as you brush it or comb it, detangle it. With locks, you're shedding very minimal hair in the sense of it falling out and onto the ground. When you shed your hair, most of it stays in the lock. And so as a result of that, you get these little white things, and I don't know if it's gonna come off on camera. Maybe you've seen it in other people's videos. I don't know, I can't really see in the viewfinder. But at times you will see in a lock, and maybe I just don't have a ton of them, but if y'all know what I'm talking about, you know, there's these little white follicles, the hair follicles on the ends of your hair that will be all throughout some people's locks. And it happens to some people more than other, but I believe that it happens to everybody no matter what at some point. And like I said, some people have different ways of dealing with it. Some people just leave it be and don't do anything about it, and it's just realize it and embrace it as part of the lock journey, and they're not too concerned. Whereas other people may dye their hair a dark color, like a black, jet black or something like that, to cover it up. And so whatever you choose to do with it, that's up to you, but just be aware that that is a dislike for many people, because maybe it looks to some like you have dandruff or like you have lint or something in your hair, when it's not that. It's just part of your hair shaft that you can't get rid of. And you don't want to go picking them out, because then you're picking out your shed hair, which is supposed to be part of the lock and the locking process. So yeah, you just got to deal with it one way or another. Don't pick them out though. Don't pick them out. All right, and another dislike for a lot of people, but something that is inevitable and something that you really can't avoid, especially as your locks get longer, is lint. You are going to get lint in your locks. This is something that you can't prevent. I mean, there are ways to minimize lint by wearing your bonnet when you're laying around, when you go to bed, by having a satin or silk pillowcase, not wearing woolly things, especially in the winter, you know, not having scarves, or having your hair, even though you don't want to manipulate it a lot, but having your hair up off your scarf, or if you have sweaters on and stuff like that. But it's just impossible to completely eliminate lint from your life, and so that you never, because even when you're taking clothes on and off, I mean, there's gonna be brushing up of clothing with your hair as it gets longer. And so I have not experienced major lint yet, but I know it's coming, and when it comes, we will deal with it. I don't know. In the past, with my previous lock journeys, sometimes I have dyed my hair to just cover up the lint. If it's on the surface and it's easy to pick out, you know, not where you're having to mess up the integrity of the lock, but just kind of pick out a little bit, then you can do that. But a lot of times when you start picking at a lock, you're picking at the integrity. And when you've already got micro small locks and you're picking at the integrity of it, there's not much integrity to pick at. So you're already digging into a wall that's super thin. So be mindful of that. But those are the likes and those are the dislikes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful at all, make sure to hit that like button, as it helps me. And hit the subscribe button so that you can join the flock. While you're here, also check out some of the other videos that have popped up on the screen. I'll see you there.